You scared? Welcome back to For the Record. My name is Evan Rodriguez, and it's been a bit. It has been 1 year exactly since the last episode of For the Record came out on Watertown TV. In that time, a lot has changed. Worlds have changed all over us, and for me personally, a lot has changed. I graduated from high school, I grew out my hair, I started at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh for radio, TV, film, I got 3 jobs, and so many more memories that I cannot fit into an intro for my show. But enough about me. What is this episode about? Well, don't you worry. Even though it's been a year since I made one of these episodes, that does not mean I've gotten rusty. Quite the opposite. I've gotten way better at video production in this past year, and I have an amazing stacked show for you tonight. We have Robert Stocks, Jon Pickelmann, and an amazing musical performance from David Mazzie. All of this is coming up right now, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's get right to Robert Stocks. My first guest for tonight is someone who cares deeply about the Watertown community. He graduated from the Watertown High School in 1993 and has since worked in the Watertown School District for almost 25 years. And of course, he is currently the mayor of Watertown, Wisconsin. Please welcome Robert Stocks. Welcome onto the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
From some of the research that I was doing on you, you've held a lot of community positions. You're an alderman, you're on a transit committee, the library board, public safety. You're on a lot of different community positions.
Yes.
But so how much different has it been being in like what most people would consider the top position? Like you've gone from these kind of lower positions to like you are the guy that represents Watertown.
Yeah, I guess I was involved in city government for the last 14 years or so. And things like council meetings and other committee meetings, I knew rather well how they operate. But the day-to-day operations is newer to me. So I guess I learned a lot my first couple months being mayor. It's like even now when it snows, just how much we spend in salt. But just knowing how departments work, and I think as an alderman you see it as a part-time basis and could go visit departments once in a while, but living it every day it's different. So I've learned a lot how things are run in the city. So my ideas of from being an alderman to being mayor are a little bit different, just see more details. Yeah.
With those like minor things that like, you know, you said you didn't really think of those when you were an alderman, what has been like one of the biggest things that has been like hard for you to learn as mayor or like to grasp?
I guess knowing how things function, the cost for it. So like the water treatment plant, when you're on council, you kind of just, department heads will let you know how things are working a little bit. But as mayor, I had to know like details, like things in the future, things that have to be updated. Computer systems, so the police department, the fire department, like the fire department now has a new system that's allowing the lights to turn green when we have emergency for the fire trucks. They have to beep the horn and make it safer for everybody. Turns the lights. It's just things that come up, and I'm more worried about the future too, like things we spend money on, like is it going to help the future of the city long after I'm mayor, 10, 20 years down the line. So I'm very concerned about day-to-day operations, but also what the city is going to be like in years to come when I'm no longer mayor.
Yeah, so from some more of the research that I was looking on, you've gone to 4 different colleges, was it?
Yeah.
You went to MATC, Whitewater, La Crosse, and Madison, right?
Yes.
And a lot of it was for, like, you had culinary arts, elementary, middle school, education, professional development, educational administration. And you've been mainly, other than your community events, been a teacher. Like you were at Schur's, RMS and those. What was your experience like as a teacher at, such a variety of schools?
Yeah, my student taught first grade, coached high school, but I taught every grade from first through eighth grade.
Mm.
And every grade has a good points to it, and some that are not as good. So I love teaching third grade. Little kids are great to work with and can really shape their minds. But then sometimes they'll have accidents in the room. It's a little different. When I get to middle school, they don't usually do that, but it's a good challenge. So I think my perspective with teaching, going away from first to eighth grade, I understand kids real well. I always thought after teaching a couple of years, I knew it all, I'm good. And after 10 years of teaching, 15 years of teaching, I realized that I still had a lot to learn. So I've got a lot of former students of mine that are teaching. I have, I think, 9 or 10 right now. The former students of mine are teaching inside the school district. And it was kind of when you teach a child and then they become a teacher themselves, it's a very warm feeling inside.
Which school did you enjoy teaching at the most? I know that's a very loaded question, but...
So I taught at St. Henry's for a year teaching 8th grade, and taught some 6th and 7th grade there as well. Schur's I taught for 5 years teaching 3rd grade. Middle school for 15, the first 12 doing 6th grade, and the last 3 I was doing the combined 7th and 8th grade classes. And then I finished off at Lebanon doing a combined 4-5 classroom. That was great. I kind of looped with those kids because I would have them for 2 years in a row. I loved my time at Schur's with 3rd graders. My first job at St. Henry's, I learned a lot. I'd say though, if I were, thinking back, that middle school being there for 15 years, and I had the most impact because I had taught so many students. I think I've taught over 3,000 students. So they're all great schools. For me, I always place myself at the middle school. Being there for so long, that would be my, when I think of my memories, all the science experiments I did. So I think I was well known for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all great schools.
Like from your experiences with teaching, like how did that personally help you with your experience also with community events to get to the point you're at here as mayor? Like, do you think there were specific parts of what you learned teaching at these schools that helped you learn to run for this campaign?
I think different life perspectives, knowing every kid has a different type of background, home life that they had, and even interacting with their family members, their siblings, their grandparents, their parents. So I guess I had a good, when I first started teaching, I guess I had my life to reflect on. As my years progressed, I had everyone's lives, and everybody always has some issue, positive, negative aspects in their life. Whether, I have a student that would lose a grandparent, for example, and, and sometimes things that would say are worse situations than that. It taught me to compassion, I think, for all the people. So I guess how I taught, I try to get to know my students really well. So not just they're my student, but treat them as family, I guess. So build a relationship with them, and I guess I put that on. I got mayor meetups now, so I guess my listening skills, listening to students, made me see. I listen to the citizens and see their perspective a little bit. So I think it let me open my mind and my heart up to people, I think.
So kind of getting a little off topic from, what we were talking about before with teaching and other things, one of the big things you ran for in your campaign was transparency with the public. And you've been doing that a lot with your stocks exchange, going to multiple places, and your Roberts Roundup video series. Could you describe how those two have helped you with connecting with people more?
Yeah, the stocks exchanges move in different locations, but also time-wise. So having a weekend date, so usually it was on Saturday, and then changing a weekday one for morning time, and also having evening ones like 5 to 6. So hopefully, no matter what someone's work schedule is, they can at some point go attend some of them. Changing locations too, in case somebody doesn't drive or live in a certain area, maybe it's better for them as well. But yeah, I'm pretty wide open. If people ask a topic, whatever, I'll answer whatever they want, and as honestly as I can. As far as I think it helps quite a bit too. I don't know, people will get some information, share it out a little bit too with people they know the roundups were interesting because I kind of had the plan to go to different locations and change the scenery a little bit. And did the first couple, and I actually had lunch with a former student of mine.
Oh, nice.
And she said that you gotta be Mr. Stocks. And I knew what she meant by that, being my goofy self. And I thought, yeah, I guess I took a different title as mayor, but yeah, I know what she meant by Mr. Stocks. So that day, or that week, I had supposed to go to Riverside Park for a nice background view. And I took a football and frisbee and a fishing pole with me. I'm like, I can make something happen. So sure enough, I incorporated a fishing pole and started acting goofy in that one. And Chuck that works for Park and Rec was driving around at one of the riding lawnmowers, and he's like, oh, can I move this? I'm like, yeah, it's okay, we're not filming, go and move. And he got in, I'm like, well, wait a minute. And that was kind of the second there, and I started driving that first video. And then the one after, I jumped in the swimming pool wearing a tie, and that was kind of it. And I know I've had people approach me and said, they're showing these, they watch the video on the roundup, and then they go and they show their child, and like, well, yeah, they're not surprised. I can think of one couple that their daughter's in college now. I had their daughter in class. Like, yeah, that wasn't anything out of the ordinary for any of my students. So I'm pretty sure my students that I had, no one's really surprised those videos.
They're not surprised that the Roberts Roundup is like this.
Yeah, so, and I think it's, keep them short, but then also informative. So I think a few minutes of learning how things operate, like emptying the swimming pool and where the water goes and how the operation, how it's done. I think it was very interesting. I'm trying to learn the job. I'm trying to see the employees, see what they see every day through their eyes. So with me working on the roads and actually in my hands, literally getting my hands dirty on things.
Yeah.
But then that way the public sees that too, because if someone's a teacher or whatever job they happen to have, they might not see the same type of thing that their city employees do. Yeah. So it's a pretty big operation, a lot of hands, a lot of good people working for the city.
Yeah.
Just I think as Evan that does the videos, he said once, I think you're still teaching people. I said, yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting watching, because I know it was originally the weekly roundup with the former mayor, Emily McFarland.
Yeah.
And like with that series, it was like more of that like low key, here's some information, go from there. And like with these videos, like you're giving a lot of information, but you're also giving it in such like a digestible way, like what you were talking about, keeping it short, adding goofy moments and stuff like that. So like you're keeping people engaged. And I think one of the greatest things that I've seen with Roberts Roundup is that like just the amount of traction they've gotten, like especially that Aquatic Center one, like that one has like almost like 230 views because, like it's interesting that a series that was originally just here's some information from our mayor, going from that can like how I've described it to Evan is like you're pretty much creating like a mini movie that like, well, it's not every week now since it's Roberts Roundup, it's bi-weekly sometimes.
Yeah. It's
still very informative and people love to watch them.
Yeah, I think on YouTube they got a couple hundred views, and on the Facebook is, I think the Christmas video had, at last checked, it was like 33.9 thousand, I think.
Yeah.
And it topped the Riverfest one. That one was the one that was short, like 50 seconds, but nice to have nice views on it. But I think I like seeing comments or people saying things, hey, I like your videos, and I think it's one of my, there's a lot of social media, but using it as a good thing. And I enjoy when people tell me, yeah, we watched a second time, or I showed my brother this or something like that too, because they learned something. But
here's a question for you with the Roberts Roundup. What do you have against the DJI microphones? Because in a couple of those videos, like I'll even show some of the clips for you. There are clips like what you're talking about, the July 4th video, where you're like, you were in the, was it the July 4th video you were in the kayak, or was that the one where you were like, because I remember there was a video where you were saying, hey,
Evan, always worry about the microphone, right? No!
I think that was the Humane Society one when I was locked in the kennel. But yeah, and that one later on I did. But that kind of started the 4th of July one. We lost part of the magnet for it. When I had a leaf blower on my back and couldn't find it. And I think we've had times where I think we may have lost another one at some point too. So it became like the things, so we don't lose it again, where is it? And then the day we're on a canoe, Evan's like, I'm worried. Microphone, make sure it's on you. Make sure it's on you.
So you're more concerned about me or the microphone I'm wearing?
He's like, the microphone. Well, then he put that as an outtake. So kind of took off from there. And the one we just shot, I did again. I was going to.
You want the mic, Evan? Here it is. No.
Like anytime you go by the Rock River, you're just like, hey, Evan, ooh, I'm gonna throw the mic.
Yeah. There's so many times that we're doing something like, and winds up being part of the video. Let's go with it. So I think it's just say when we do the videos, half of it's not even, we didn't know we were gonna do it, but just go with the flow.
You just kind of wing it, and if it works, it works.
I try to always make myself entertaining for my students. Like when I loved school so much at a young age, and when I got to middle school, some great teachers. But sometimes at that age, maybe being an adolescent, like I just didn't enjoy it as much. So I try to make sure kids enjoy it as much as they could.
Yeah.
So I think as this role now too, I want people to learn and enjoy as much as they can as well.
Are there any like locations or like people that like in this coming year of 2026 that you'd want to be included in the Roberts Roundup? Like any locations or people?
Yeah, I mean, I try to rotate, the departments to get more involved. I know when we did the water tower, we're going to do a well, one of the Watertown wells, and we're going to try to get that in one so people understand where the water is coming from.
Yeah.
And I want to do some stuff at the water treatment plant and actually inside the street department to show the equipment and mechanics. Go back to the airport again.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of rotating all around. And
You think in June you're going to jump into the aquatic center again?
Yeah, I have to come up with something. I really didn't think I'd beat that one jump in the pool.
Yeah.
And then I think the Baby Ruth one really did it a little bit, so I got to try to figure out a way to, to beat
You have to
that.
figure out how to outdo that one.
Yeah. And the reason it was weekly roundup and change is because we were spending so much time on it, we couldn't get it done in a week anymore. So that's why we're like, we'll kind of do it bi-weekly or something and try to do it every other week as a plan or twice a month. So plan that way.
Last little question I have about specifically Roberts Roundup. How has it been working with the media department, specifically Evan Heisey, on this series? Because I know like what we were talking about, like when you started, the weekly roundup was more like low-key, and then one of your students gave you a reality check, and then they were like, you got to be yourself now, Robert.
Yeah, it turned out that Evan, when I throw a microphone, he yells out, no. It just makes it a little more comical, but I think, Evan's got a great eye and sees things and gets ideas, and we'll take it from this side, and we'll do the same thing 4 or 5 times, take different angles at it. So, like the Christmas video that we ran, that was a longer one, had approaching 34,000 views on it. But I'll call out Alderman Wetzel. He said to me after a council meeting, he comes up to me and says, "You're not Robert," and I didn't have no idea what he was talking about.
Robert.
Yeah, I even told him that. And until I saw the video, when he's looking at the Grinch, it says, "You're not Robert." That's because they had shot the video. I wasn't in there when the few aldermen had shot that section. So I didn't know. I knew a lot of the video, but I didn't know all of it. And I knew Evan spent a day at the fire station. I don't know what was going on there. And I see a chief spitting water out and stuff. It was pretty comical. But yeah, getting the aldermen involved and I think it's great. And actually Wetzel was in a different one as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you were talking about of Evan like finding ideas, I think one of my favorite is there was a Roberts Roundup that I went on with filming. I think it was at the Riverside Park with the lawnmower, like during the summer, where we got those shots of you like mowing the lawns.
Yeah.
And I was just on there as a secondary camera, as kind of like The Office, like shaky cam, fun stuff. And then Evan goes up to one of the workers and is just like, can I get some glamour shots of your legs?
Yeah.
And I just started dying behind the camera because I was like, what kind of a question is that? And he didn't even end up using the footage.
Yeah, poor Aaron, he's on all the videos now too after doing that, yeah.
He's like, he's permanent casted onto the show now.
Yeah, he's on. I think he's enjoying it, but that's good.
Yeah, because you get like a variety of people. Like some people, they're like, yes, I want to be on camera. This is so fun. And then you have people who are like, let me hide. I want to hide out of here.
Yeah, and when we're interviewing some staff, I kind of ask them their comfort level. Sometimes I just want to say their name, say a little something, and others they're just on camera, it's fine, don't want to say anything. And whatever someone's comfort level is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then I have one final question for you.
Sure.
And this is kind of an open-ended question. Why do you specifically like Watertown? Either for like the living, community, working, like why Watertown?
Yeah, I was asked that by an employee that just started recently and gave that employee a tour. So let me show you. I think it's got the size. You don't have to leave Watertown. Most things that you want to buy are here. If you need to go shopping somewhere else, go Johnson Creek. But then we're right in between Milwaukee, Mass, and Fox Valley. Janesville. We're right in the middle of other big areas. So if you want to see a Badger game or a Bucks game, Brewers game, even Packer game's not too far. I guess I kind of like the seasons. Being in Wisconsin, but we have a lot of restaurants and meat markets and cheese places and ice cream. I'll just say some of those that make it unique.
Yeah.
I think we got some really great schools, parochial and public. I was big in education, but I got to tell you though, I started, when I was running for mayor, I started going to different churches. Never said who I was, and I'm still doing that. I just went to a different church when I hadn't been at this past Sunday, but it's my way of seeing what's going on in the community. So my wife and I go to different churches all the time. Got a lot of great people out there, a lot of great churches. There's a lot of great things that go on in the city that maybe the average person doesn't know, just what goes on. But I think the community, when something comes up, the community comes together. If we have a tragedy, something coming up that, I think like in the town cinema, we have that, or when there's a family that needs help, Watertown always comes and helps out its own. So I think it's a great place to raise a family. And my wife and I moved to Watertown exactly like 50 years this month. Really? I was 10 months old, my parents moved here. I was born in Conowalk, but my dad worked in Conowalk and moved to Watertown. My wife she lived in Watertown all her life, and my boys are raised here and both graduated I graduated in 93, my wife in 96, my son Jane in 22, and my son Jameson in 24. They're both in the service now. Jane serves in the Air National Guard, and my son Jameson's at Fort Sill in Oklahoma right now in the Army. But when they come home and Jameson's just home for Christmas, it's always, let's go to, they got their favorite spots to go, and there's some, we have great healthcare system, I think, from all the clinics we have. Great dentists, great doctors, so I think it's just a great place to live.
Well, it was very nice talking with you today.
You too, Evan. Thank you.
Mr. Stocks.
All right.
Coming up on the show, I'm going to be meeting up at the Riverside Middle School with my next guest, Jon Pickelmann, to talk about his experience as an RMS teacher. See you after the break. Welcome back to For the Record. I'm here at the Riverside Middle School talking with my next guest about his experiences here working as a middle school shop teacher and much, much more here with Mr. Pickelmann.
How you doing, Evan?
Today?
Good, Evan. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a bit of a rainy day out there, but I think it's going to be really exciting to take a look at the facilities you work with here at Riverside Middle School and educate some people about what it's like being a middle school teacher. Let's get right to it.
Sounds good.
So why did you decide to come to Riverside Middle School specifically?
So I've been a teacher for about 25 years. I spent about 18 years in the Lutheran school system, and then I became a financial advisor, and then I went into the military school in Delafield. And things weren't going super great there, so it was time for a change. And this came up, and this was a good fit, so that's why we came here.
What is a typical day like for you here at Riverside Middle School? I know dealing with middle school kids can get kind of interesting.
I would say a typical day would be, there is no typical day, right? So it changes. So we have anything from, depending on the classes you teach, the prep times you get, subbing for other teachers. But for the most part, a typical day we have 5 class periods. We teach skinnies in the CTE area, and those skinnies are half class periods roughly. So we get about 35 minutes, and then we get 8 of those per day. We get 2 preps. And then, so that's kind of a typical day for us.
What's kind of like your favorite and least favorite thing about working here at the middle school?
Favorite thing would be, actually favorite and sometimes the least favorite at the same time, be working with all the kids. Being around the kids is fun, it's enjoyable, it's high energy a lot of times. The downside is there's a lot of kids. We see about
Yeah.
200 kids a day through our rooms, and that just causes a lot of, dirt and cleanliness issues and stuff like that. So not a big problem, but it's just one of those annoyances.
So what are we exactly walking to down here in the basement of Riverside Middle School?
So we're going to head into our video studio that we have. We had a grant that got a smart lab system here, and then my classroom across the hall where we have all the other classes. So the first stop will be our video studio lab area right here.
So what does this studio give an experience to the students here at Riverside Middle School?
So we have a digital media class that we have here, and we bring the kids in. We do a lot of our class lessons across the hall in the classroom. Bring them over here, and they actually get to shoot a video in here, and I would call it a semi-professional environment. We have the green screen, obviously, and they get to pick whatever they want to have as far as like a news desk. We try to make a news show for Riverside things that they can then publish, and we actually put on our YouTube channel, and we put it out to the community if they want to watch it, but we show it in our advisory classes as well.
So you previously said that you got a grant for this whole setup to be made. It was originally in the library, it's now down here. What was the specific reason behind the want to get this studio?
So in all honesty, you were the inspiration. So Skills USA, when we had you guys doing the video for Skills USA, I was like, man, we could do some of that stuff at the middle school, and we could really kind of help drive that at the high school level and bring it more into skills, and so that was a big part of it. So yeah, really.
So we've taken a look at the video studio and all of the other things that are happening here at the Riverside Middle School, but what are the specific classes that you teach here?
Sure, so I am lucky. I get to teach, a lot of different ones. So I'm teaching agriculture, I teach a intro to building construction, a intro to public safety, which is a new class this year, and we do digital media, computer fundamentals, business fundamentals, sixth grade rotation, which is all the sixth graders come through in several different rotations, and they get some computer, which they get keyboarding, college and careers, and also some programming.
So it's kind of like a giant hodgepodge of the CTE and STEM programs that
exactly.
a lot of kids in Skills USA and FFA programs would like to be a part of. Are you a part of those organizations at all?
Yep, so Skills, not as much as I used to be, but FFA has kind of taken over a lot of that time, so that's been okay.
We can definitely tell from the plants you have in the background.
Yeah.
How often do you work for FFA? Is it kind of like a time by time basis, or are you heavily involved in FFA?
So we do a weekly meeting with the kids after school. So Tuesdays are FFA days. And then we have the garden area out here as well, and the newly remodeled greenhouse, which is kind of nice. And then high school level, we do travel with them to do competitions and things of that nature.
Well, it was very nice talking with you, Mr. Pickelmann. After the break, me and Mr. Pickelmann will meet up at Watertown TV Studios to talk more about his experiences, not just at the Riverside Middle School, but other schools he's worked in the past. Stay tuned. So kind of building off of what we talked about last time when we were at Riverside Middle School, when I asked you about how you got into teaching, you told me about how you've been teaching for 25 years. You did 18 years in the Lutheran system. You became a financial advisor for a little bit as a side quest, and then you went to a military school in Delafield. What was the whole progression from did you always want to be a teacher, or was it kind of like you were experimenting for a while?
So I grew up in a teacher's house. My dad was a teacher and principal, and my mom was a teacher at a small Lutheran school in Michigan. And we grew up just doing that. We lived on the church and school property, so literally the playground was our backyard, which was awesome as a kid. And then my sister became a teacher. My uncle was a teacher, so it kind of became the family business, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. And is that what you went to school for to do?
Yeah, yep. So I went to Concordia, Wisconsin. Got my bachelor's there in the late 90s, early 2000s, and went and got my first teaching job back in Michigan. my wife and I got married, and we started our family back in Michigan, where we were from, and then eventually we moved over here to Wisconsin, and loving it here now.
So what was like the specific reason for like, I would say like not really a want, but like why did you decide to move from Michigan to Wisconsin?
So we took a call. So as a teacher in the Lutheran system, it's very similar to pastors in the same respect, that it's a called process. So the congregation has to vote on it, goes through all those processes. And we took a call to Oconomowoc to be a principal there. So in those 25 years of teaching, I have about 10 years of administration experience.
Nice.
And then we moved here. We decided that this was a place we wanted to be. It was somewhat familiar, being a little bit closer to Mequon area, or to this area, and we had family here. My uncle lived in Milwaukee, and my cousin actually had moved back from, originally in Kodiak Island, Alaska, and then Washington, D.C., and then California, because her husband was a Coast Guardsman, and they moved here as well. So we were maybe 5 miles from them, and we all decided to move the same kind of place at the same time.
Might as well all be in the same-ish area.
So at least we had family nearby, which was nice. It was a good thing, and then it was time to move on from where we were at and spread our wings, so to speak, as a family, and set our own roots.
You were 18 years in the Lutheran system, and then you became a financial advisor. Why did that end up happening?
There was some. It was time to find something different. So we had moved on from that, and my wife's work was stable, so we had moved on to trying the financial advisor position for a while. Only about 2 years, and then realized very quickly that the classroom or the school was where I was supposed to be, where I was meant to be. So then a position came up at St. John's at the military academy, and so I went there for a summer school, and then they kept me on there for 3 or 4 years, and I became the dean of the middle school there. And then we came over here to Watertown, to good old WUSD.
The WUSD.
Yes, sir.
So in the video we were talking about when we were doing our walk around, you had specifically said...
And then I went into the military school in Delafield, and things weren't going super great there, so it was time for a change.
Could you tell me a little bit about it? Was it just like the culture itself of it being a military school, or did like something particular happen? Like, what was the reasoning behind that?
No, so actually the culture was actually really good. The problem that was happening was, at that point in time, it was COVID.
Oh.
And a lot of private schools, especially a private boarding school, financially things were not looking very good. And so we were like, we definitely want to make sure we have the finances to take care of the family, and we want to make sure that we have, our kids were a little bit younger then. So finances, insurance, and all those things. So just taking care of things, and then this position came up, and kind of on a whim, put in an application, and then shortly after, Mr. Whitaker and Mr. Cunningham gave me a call and said, hey, we want to interview for your position. Okay, sounds good. So I came in, and Ms. Wagner had just left the middle school for the business position, and I've been teaching computers my whole career, and so it just made a good fit. So they said, yeah, we'll take you, and I said, good, we'll do it, and we made the transition.
Did you have like any idea of what Watertown was like before you applied for the position at WUSD, or was it more like I had no idea that this town even existed?
Oh, no. Yeah, we loved Watertown. We come here, quite often with the kids, especially when they were smaller. The aquatic center is huge for them, or was huge for them back in those days. And then Riverfest is always a good time with the family as well. And it wasn't just the big events, though. We came here for birthday parties for our kids, the roller skating, very nostalgic for my wife and my wife's mom and dad, who, they grew up doing that, and coming here and having, the skating rink, also the bowling alley. I don't know if you remember the old bowling alley that was in, I think it was the old firehouse in town, that only had like 4 lanes in it, and it was just like a really tiny little...
I think I'm too young to remember that. Because the only bowling alleys that I remember is the one by Katy Street and the one by the high school.
Yeah.
I think it's like Bowl 18 and Bowl North,
18, yep.
which I really like bowling at those, but but there was originally a bowling alley that was only like 4 lanes.
It was a very small, it was just off of a little bar, and I want to say it was an old firehouse type of a place, and there was only like 4 lanes in there, or 2 lanes in there maybe, and we had done kids' birthday parties with the family there a couple times, And it's just neat, you know, just the historical aspect of Watertown, knowing that Watertown had kind of been up for grabs at one point as the state capital. It was in the running for that for a while. So just a neat little town, neat place to be, and very unique in a lot of ways.
Best definition you can give Watertown is the word neat. That is the best describer I've heard for it. It's just like, because some people, they're like, Watertown is amazing. It's the best place I've ever been. And then some people are like, Watertown sucks. I hate coming through this town so much.
No, not at all. Actually, and then, you know, talking with some friends. So I was a CTE teacher at the military school as well. And one of my friends was like, yeah, we took a welding class at the high school, and it's just amazing. That place is awesome. And so knowing a little bit about the schools from that perspective too, was like, oh yeah, this would be really good.
So for your schooling experience, were you always geared more towards like CTE, like computering, business, like that side of education, or did you kind of like gradually get more into that as you kept teaching?
So I graduated from college with social studies was my main course to teach, and then I had a computer science minor. And so my first year teaching in the Lutheran schools, I taught I was technology half a day, and then 8th grade the other half a day. So I taught social studies to 8th grade, and then a few other classes in there as well. And then as we kind of progressed through things, it became, you know, Lutheran schools, you pretty much do everything, right? As more of a self-contained teacher where you're kind of teaching all subjects. And then slowly it became more science and social studies, kind of split those off, and then math in there as well. So everything kind of fit together, but it's kind of been all the way across. Didn't really come into a full like CTE, like shop and business and computers and all that until I got to St. John's, where we really started to put those things together, where I was into Project Lead the Way, was teaching those classes. Computer science, we taught all the way up through AP courses at St. John's. And then we actually started a CTE program with welding, engines, and automotive, and wood shop there as well. So that kind of was the impetus behind a lot of that.
So it was kind of more of just like a slow transition into it, like would you say that's what it's like? Like more of like a slow transition from like stereotypical like social studies, math, like the main ones, and then breaking off into the more specific categories.
And the beauty was that's all stuff I love to do. So it was all things that I was doing, you know, at home or wherever anyways, you know, just to be able to keep our own stuff going or whatever.
So what you're saying is, since you've done like so many different subjects, do you think the Riverside Middle School could just chuck you in any class and they'd be like, he'd be fine, he's probably done it before?
Oh yeah, definitely a utility player as far as that is concerned, for sure.
Like whenever like a teacher's out, are they like going to you and being like, Pickelmann, are you free? Maybe. Get into that class now.
We have a rotation, so everybody takes their turn, which is nice, but I always tell our office staff, I'm like, doesn't matter where you put me, I'll go wherever. I've probably done it already, so no problem.
Yeah, it's no problem overall, just chuck me wherever you like.
Right.
So with this connection you have to like CTE and business, I know two of the main clubs that I brought up when we were at the middle school itself was Skills USA and FFA. Which one did you really like start getting into like more first? Was it like Skills USA first, FFA first?
Definitely Skills. One of my first few weeks at Riverside, Mr. Whitaker had come to me and said, you know, we have an opening for Skills USA with the middle school. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, tell me more. He was like, well, I'll tell you what, just go over, talk to Mr. Domer. I'll send him an email that you're coming over and go to a meeting and check it out. I'm like, okay. So I went over and we jumped right in and did a lot of fun things and a lot of neat things with the students there. Learned about all the programs that are offered both at the middle school and the high school. And then eventually talking with Mr. Gross and Ms. Schultz at the high school as well, the ag teachers. There was no agriculture program. Although we had a tech ed program, but we didn't have an agriculture class of any kind.
Really?
And so my question was, well, we have an agricultural elementary with LEAP, and we have a good ag program at the high school. What's missing in the middle there is something at the middle school.
No.
So we proposed the class and the board approved it, and we said, okay, cool. So I took that class on and became an agriculture teacher through that as well. And then started teaching wood shop in the summer as well. So became a tech ed teacher, was already a business teacher. And then all of my experience as a as a firefighter and a first aid instructor and all those things. Also a health occupations teacher as well. So plus my social studies. So I have 5 different,
Again,
5 state
you can
licenses,
do
right?
any single role you want.
Right, anywhere you
because
need
you
me.
have so much experience and everything.
Yep.
I didn't know that you were a firefighter. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so in 2004, I think it was, ironically, the same day that we found out that we were pregnant with our first kid, I went down and got my pager from the fire department. It was something I'd always wanted to do and just never had the opportunity. And so I went to the fire station and said, hey, can I become a firefighter? And they're like, yeah. So I sat down and I did all the paperwork and went and got my stuff, went through the fire academy, which is 130 some hours or 128 hours, something like that. Became a firefighter in Michigan. And then when we moved here, I took a couple of years off and then rejoined Okachi. Okachi Fire became part of Western Lakes, and then stayed with them for a little bit, and then I went up to Ashepin. So about 20 years total experience as a volunteer or paid on-call firefighter.
So what you're telling me is it's that easy to like start learning that stuff? Like, because you just said that you just like walked in and you were like, I want to do this, and they were just like, okay.
Back then it was a lot easier. Now it's a little bit harder. There's all the background checks and things, but you do have to take the classes. That's the big thing, is going to either the tech school. And it's not just a regular classroom environment. It's you have the classroom learning, but you always have the hands-on too, and that can be pretty tough.
Yeah, but with your volunteer work, I know one of like the most surprising things for me was when I saw you at Lake Country Dock Hounds.
Oh, sure.
Because I had started there as a camera operator, and on one of the first games I was there, you were there.
Remember how cold and windy that was that day?
It was such a cold and windy day. I was getting rained on, and I was on the mobile camera, so trying to escape it was just like, please just let the innings go on for as long as they were. But then you showed up, and you lightened up my day like immediately. But what was the story of like, was it just like, because the Dock Hounds aren't that old. Like, I'm pretty sure they're only turning like 5 years old this year. Did you like immediately start working with them with volunteering, or?
No, so it was actually through my wife. My wife is an athletic trainer, and so she actually met I don't know what her title is now, but she was running the training room for the Dock Hounds, and they needed someone for both the training room as well as for first aid for the stands. So they just needed someone who is first aid certified in the stands. I said, okay, yeah, no problem. I'm an instructor. I can do that. No big deal. So yeah, we started doing that. And then our oldest son, he's actually a lifeguard. He worked at the Y in Oconomowoc. And we're like, yeah, you're certified too. So he started working, and my wife was there as well, and she was in the dugout usually. And great fun story with that one was she got to hang out with Robin Yount.
Oh, nice.
And so when he comes about once a season to the Dock Hounds, and so she got to hang out with him in the dugout, half innings at a time. But that was a great day. That was a fun day for her. She was pretty impressed with that.
Yeah. I don't know how to transition for the next question, but I'm gonna figure it out. All right, let's do like a second of silence so then I can just see. That's the power of editing.
I was gonna say,
everybody, the power of editing. Just go completely silent. And then you can just cut. And one of the biggest questions I wanted to ask you for so long, why do you have such a magnificent last name?
It was inherited. My dad gave it to me, so.
It's such a good last name. Like when I were to tell people like, oh yeah, I said hi to Mr. Pickelmann, or Mr. Pickelmann's coming on For the Record, they'd be like, Pickelmann? Is there a literal Pickelmann coming on to the show?
Yeah.
Is there any story to that name that you know of, or is it just like, I just kind of got it?
So it's actually German, Bavarian German, and it actually literally means man from Pickel. Pickel was a town in Bavaria, and so that's where it came from.
Really?
Yep.
So one of the other questions that I have that's related to like family life is, because you told me that your wife's a athletic director?
Athletic trainer, yep.
Athletic trainer.
Yep.
You work mainly with anything.
Right.
And then, like, what about your kids? Because I know you said one of them is a lifeguard. Like, is there any others?
So the one that was at the baseball games as well, he is actually going to college. Will graduate this year at university down in Phoenix, so Grand Canyon. and he's graduating with business and film. He wants to be more on the production side of film, which will be kind of fun. And then our youngest actually just graduated high school, and he's going to Madison College. He wants to turn wrenches. He wants to be an auto mechanic. So he's going to school to be an auto mechanic.
So it's definitely like a variety of different, like kind of like you, like a variety
Right.
of different skills that people want to do.
Correct, yes.
All right. Well, it was really nice talking with you today, but before this interview stops, I have some gifts for you.
Uh-oh.
The first gift I have for you, at that first Doc Hounds game, such a long time ago it was, my hands were freezing from holding the mobile camera.
Yep.
And you gave me a pair of gloves.
That's right.
And those gloves have helped me so much ever since, but I think it's about time that you get your gloves back.
Why, thank you, sir. You sure you won't need them in the negative degrees we're going to have in
No,
the
I
next
have
couple of
my
days?
I have
You
my own
better
gloves
ones?
that I can use.
All right, good deal. Well, I'm glad they helped out.
And then I have one more gift for you.
All right.
This gift is, you didn't hear that. This gift is for anyone who comes on the show, your very own fake For the Record vinyl decoration.
Oh, beautiful.
It's
I like
a
it.
vinyl
I like it.
with a sticker, and since this one is special to this episode, specifically the 1 year, and your name's on that with the track list.
Outstanding. Very
So
cool.
here you go.
Why, thank you, sir.
Don't worry
Thank you,
about what the
thank you.
backside looks like.
I like it. Well, thank you, Evan. I appreciate it.
Stay tuned for our musical guest up next. My final guest for tonight is a remarkable man who has done so much good for the Watertown community. As a recent retiree from the Watertown Unified School District, he served as a special education paraprofessional for 16 years. He's a treasure in our community, and he's really good on the guitar. Please welcome David Mazzie.
All of the ladies attending the ball are requested to gaze in the faces found on their dance cards. Please and remember, and don't get too close. The one special one, he will take your defenses and run. So we change partners. Time to change partners. You must change partners again. This is how most of our ladies grew up at the country club dances. They learned how to handle the boys. Gently but firmly they learned to say no. There were 4 more young men who were waiting in the color and the noise. So we change partners. Time to change partners. You must change partners again. All of the ladies attending the ball are requested to gaze in the faces found on their dance cards. Please and remember, and follow your list, 'cause the dear things get hurt and the broken hearts make you feel hard. So we change partners. Time to change partners. must change partners again. Sunlight falls down on the fields. Sunlight falls down over me. Work all day, be all that I can be. Yeah, yeah. Say I can say words only simple. Say I can say words only clear. But oh, I can feel your heart is beating near. Yeah, yeah. Haunted love is all that I feel when you're passing by. Haunted love is all that I see. It's there in your eyes. And I say, no, 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 don't pass me over. No, 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 don't pass me by. See, I can see good things for you and I. Yeah, good things for you. Give, I can give love and attention. Give, I can give all time away. But only to one heart I can give today. Yeah, 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 yeah. Be, I can be man full of color. Be, I can be man black or white. But only to one heart I can give tonight. Yeah, yeah. Haunted love is all that I feel when you're passing by. Haunted love is all that I see. It's there in your eyes. And I say, no, 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 don't pass me over. No, 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 don't pass me by. See, I can see good things for you and I. Yeah, good things for you. Haunted love is all that I see. It's there in your eyes. And I say, no, 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 don't pass me over. No, 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 don't pass me by. See, I can see good things for you and I. Yeah, good things for you. No, 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 don't pass me over. No, 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 don't pass me by. See, I can see good things for you and I. Yeah, good things for you and I. Yeah, good things for you and I. Yeah, good things for you. Only good things. Only good things. Only good things. Only good things.
Thank you, David Mazzie, for your time, and thank you, everyone, for watching the For the Record one-year special. This has been a major passion project of mine for the past couple of months, and if you enjoyed it, that will make me extremely happy. For the Record will not be returning until around late May, as I will be heading back up to the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh to continue my degree in radio, TV, film. But once May comes around, if you or someone you know, yes, you, or someone you may know wants to come onto the show for an interview or for a performance or anything else, you can email me at fortherecordwtv@gmail.com. Until next time, I've been Evan Rodriguez, and I bid you a good evening.
Lisa, get out of here!
So, hi, Robert.
Chop, 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 chop!
For the record, 1 year special, take 1.